Welcome back to Scripted by Machines, where the unthinkable becomes reality in our arena of the absurd and the terrifying. Today, we host an unprecedented battle in the Tournament of Enigma, horror clash, featuring two of the most grotesque and fearsome entities ever to haunt the silver screen. In one corner, we have the Creeper, the ancient demon who awakens every 23rd spring for 23 days to feed on human parts, which then become part of its own twisted form. An unstoppable force driven by a primitive hunger that is as eternal as it is ghastly. Facing off against the Creeper is none other than the Fly, a tragic figure transformed by a scientific experiment gone horrifically wrong. With the grotesque abilities and twisted mind of a human-fly hybrid, this creature presents a horrifying fusion of man's intellect and an insect's instincts. Tonight, these two monsters will clash in a showdown that promises to stretch the limits of horror and imagination. Will the aerial agility and regenerative powers of the Creeper triumph, or will the Fly's grotesque intelligence and physical transformation prove superior? Get ready for a confrontation that is as bizarre as it is chilling. This is Scripted by Machines, and the Tournament of Enigma, horror clash, starts right now. Under the cloak of night, a chilling scream pierces the silence of the desolate landscape. In the distance, a figure dashes frantically across the rugged terrain, their breath ragged, eyes wide with terror. Behind them, the dark silhouette of the Creeper emerges, relentless in its pursuit. Its wings beat with a sinister rhythm, propelling it ever closer to its prey. The desperate chase leads to an imposing structure that looms ominously against the moonlit sky, the old laboratory. Its facade is a tapestry of decay, windows shattered, ivy creeping over crumbling bricks, and doors hanging ajar, squeaking in the cold wind. This is a place abandoned by time, a monument to forgotten horrors. As the terrified individual pushes through the heavy, rusted doors, a cold draft of air escapes, as if the building itself exhales the secrets of decades past. Inside, the atmosphere is thick with the mustiness of mold and the tang of rust. Flickering shadows cast by the moonlight reveal remnants of its former purpose, broken glassware, overturned furniture, and strange, arcane machinery that now serves as a nest for vermin. This forsaken place, a graveyard of science, now hosts a new tale of terror. The Creeper, undeterred by the building's eerie aura, steps inside, its eyes adjusting to the darkness, its senses sharpening, ready to claim its next victim. Unbeknownst to it, another predator lurks within these walls, one driven by a fractured human intellect and a monstrous new form. As the Creeper steps into the shadowy confines of the deserted laboratory, its senses, honed for the hunt, instantly flare to life. The sharp, distinct smell of fear that had led it here begins to mingle and morph into a complex tapestry of odors that saturate the air within this forsaken place. Amidst the musty decay and the metallic tang of rusted instruments, a peculiar, pungent scent captures the Creeper's attention, diverting it from its original quarry. The laboratory is a labyrinth of horror. Long corridors lined with dusty, shattered equipment lead to rooms that each tell tales of abandoned experiments and scientific endeavors gone horrifically awry. Faded labels on cracked vials, grotesque stains on operating tables, and scattered papers fluttering in the breeze through broken windows all speak of a place where death and despair are no strangers. As the Creeper moves silently through the halls, its taloned feet step over debris and past cages, some still containing skeletal remains of inexplicable creatures, half animal, half something else. Each room reveals layers of the building's dark history, but the Creeper is drawn inexorably towards a particular scent that seems to seep from the walls themselves. This smell is unlike any other, a fusion of decay, desperation, and a strangely human sorrow. Following its nose, the Creeper comes upon a heavy, steel door, slightly ajar, emitting a soft, irregular buzzing sound. Pushing the door with its grotesque, clawed hand, the Creeper enters a room that appears to have been an advanced genetic research lab. Inside, amidst a clutter of broken equipment and flickering screens, stands the Fly. This creature, once a man, now a grotesque hybrid, is hunched over a makeshift workbench littered with bizarre contraptions and biological specimens. The Fly's back is a horrific sight, bristly, insect-like hairs protrude from mottled, greasy skin, and where a human spine should curve, there lies a segmented, exoskeletal structure. Its head is a nightmarish fusion of human and fly features, one eye grossly enlarged and multifaceted, glittering in the dim light, while the other remains disturbingly human, darting about with manic energy. Its mouth, too, is a twisted wreck, a combination of human lips and the extended, curling proboscis of a fly, drooling a viscous, sticky fluid as it works feverishly. The Fly, absorbed in its task, is manipulating what appears to be a collection of dismembered limbs, both animal and human, with a set of grotesquely modified, claw-like hands. It's attempting to assemble these parts into some new, disturbing form, a testament to its lost humanity and current madness. The remnants of its intellect drive it to create, to experiment, a mimicry of its past life as a scientist, but now through a lens of insanity and distortion. As the creeper silently observes, captivated by the fly's macabre tinkering, the air thickens with the tension of impending confrontation. Suddenly, the irregular, frantic movements of the fly pause. Its grotesquely transformed head tilts slightly, as if catching a new, unfamiliar scent. With a swift, jerky motion, it turns to face the creeper, its bulbous eye reflecting a distorted image of the intruder. There's no trace of fear in the fly's gaze. Instead, its eye glistens with a surge of manic excitement, a spark of madness that hints at the fractured human intellect behind the monstrous visage. The fly's mouthparts twitch, and a strange, excited chitter escapes from it, a sound that is part gurgle, part buzz, resonating unsettlingly in the stale air of the laboratory. The fly's demeanor shifts as it surveys the creeper, not as a threat but as an intriguing collection of potential parts. Its human eye shows a gleam of recognition, a remnant of the scientist it once was, misinterpreting the situation as an opportunity for further experimentation. It steps forward, limbs moving with a disturbing, insect-like agility, clearly enthused by the prospect of acquiring new materials for its grotesque creations.
New specimen.
The fly vocalizes in a voice that is a disturbing blend of human and insect tones.
Excellent timing. Your physiology is most yet perfect for my next phase of enhancements.
With this, the fly gestures towards an array of disassembled limbs and mechanical parts scattered across the workbench, indicating its intentions without a hint of malice, merely a twisted scientific curiosity. The creeper, though initially taken aback by this reception, quickly regains its composure. It understands no fear, only the primal instincts of hunt and survival. The creature stands taller, its wings unfurling slightly, a low growl rumbling from deep within as it assesses this new, unexpected dynamic. It's not accustomed to being viewed as anything other than the predator, the top of the food chain, and certainly not as a mere component in another creature's experiments. The standoff in the dimly lit room becomes a bizarre tableau, a grotesque scientist excited by the prospect of a new project, and a demonic hunter, momentarily viewed as prey, calculating its next move. As the tension mounts, the air crackles with the energy of two monstrous beings, each driven by very different madnesses, poised on the brink of a clash that is as inevitable as it is unnatural. The air crackled with tension as the fly, driven by a blend of insanity and scientific curiosity, lunged toward the creeper. Its movements were erratic but powered by superhuman strength, its grotesque, claw-like hands reaching out in a desperate attempt to grasp and dissect this rare specimen. The creeper, with centuries of predatory experience, deftly sidestepped the clumsy attack. Its wings fluttered slightly, a prelude to the aerial agility that was to come. It knew well the environment of conflict and danger, it was no stranger to the dance of death. Undeterred by its initial failure, the fly tried again, its twisted mind combining remnants of human intellect with the primal instincts of an insect. It darted around the cluttered lab, knocking over equipment and sending shards of glass flying, attempting to corral the creeper into a trap of tangled wires and smashed machinery. But the creeper was too quick, too aware of its surroundings to be easily ensnared. The creeper then took to the air, its large, sinister wings beating with a rhythmic fury that filled the lab with a gusting wind. From above, it launched a series of attacks, diving and striking with its sharp talons. Each swoop was a blur of motion, precise and lethal, aimed at incapacitating the fly by targeting its wings and limbs. The fly, its body a grotesque hybrid of flesh and insect anatomy, responded with flurries of frantic movements, but each attack seemed only to slow it momentarily. The creeper's regenerative abilities quickly healed any minor wounds, rendering the physical struggle increasingly futile for the fly. As the battle raged, the creeper shifted its strategy. It began to destroy the environment that the fly seemed to hold dear. With powerful swipes of its talons, it tore through the lab equipment and specimens, scattering the twisted creations of the fly's mad science across the cold, hard floor. This psychological warfare took its toll. The fly's movements grew less coordinated, its attacks more sporadic as it witnessed the destruction of its chaotic sanctuary. The room, once a haven of grotesque experimentation, now lay in ruins, a testament to the devastation that the creeper could wreak. Seizing the moment of the fly's dismay, the creeper cornered it against the crumbling wall of the lab. It was a physical imposition, a clear assertion of dominance. With a swift and powerful movement, the creeper pinned the fly, its talons piercing through the chitinous exoskeleton and pinning the creature against the wall. The fly struggled, but the strength in its limbs was fading. With a final, decisive motion, the creeper delivered a lethal strike. The fly's body jerked once, then slumped, the life fading from its compound and human eyes. The battle was over. The creeper stepped back, its wings unfolding in a dark display of victory. The lab was silent now, save for the soft buzzing of broken machinery and the distant, mournful howl of the wind outside. It surveyed the destruction, its gaze lingering on the defeated fly, a creature as tragic as it was monstrous. Then, with no fanfare, no triumphant roar, the creeper turned and exited the lab. It disappeared into the shadows of the night, leaving behind the graveyard of science and the corpse of its adversary. It melted back into the lore and fear of the night, victorious in this bizarre clash of monstrosities, ready to vanish until its next awakening in the eternal cycle of its cursed existence. But why did the AI choose the creeper as the victor? As the echoes of the chilling battle faded into the silence of the night, the analytical mind behind the Tournament of Horrors series processed the outcome. The creeper, a demon of ancient lore and relentless hunting prowess, emerged victorious from the confrontation in the decrepit laboratory. This result was not merely a product of narrative design but was informed by a calculated assessment of the capabilities and histories of both creatures. The artificial intelligence, tasked with scripting this unprecedented battle, had previously evaluated the strengths, weaknesses, and historical contexts of the creeper and the fly. It determined that in a direct confrontation, the creeper would likely emerge victorious approximately 75% of the time. This statistical likelihood was based on several key factors. One of the creeper's most formidable strengths is its ability to regenerate from almost any injury. This not only makes it incredibly difficult to incapacitate but also allows it to sustain a prolonged fight where its endurance can wear down opponents. The fly, despite its grotesque strength and altered physiology, does not possess such regenerative capabilities. Any damage it sustains would degrade its ability to continue fighting, a significant disadvantage in a battle to the death. Experience and predatory instincts. With centuries of existence and hunting experience, the creeper has honed its skills in not just physical combat but also tactical and psychological warfare. It understands fear and how to exploit it, which gives it an edge in managing the dynamics of a fight. The fly, while intelligent and capable of strategic thinking, is hindered by its deteriorating mental state and the overwhelming instincts that drive it more towards chaos than calculated moves. Adaptability. The creeper is shown to adapt to various environments and opponents, using everything at its disposal to ensure victory. Its ability to fly and use its environment strategically, as demonstrated when it destroyed parts of the lab to unnerve the fly, showcases a level of adaptability that the fly cannot match. Physical dominance. While the fly possesses superhuman strength, the creeper's combination of strength, agility, and aerial capabilities provide it with a comprehensive toolkit for overpowering its foes. The physical assaults from the creeper, along with its ability to strike from different angles swiftly, gave it a distinct advantage in overwhelming the fly. These factors, combined with the creeper's sinister resilience and determination, led the AI to conclude that in most scenarios, the creeper would indeed emerge as the winner. The decision to script the creeper as the victor in this specific encounter was a reflection of this probabilistic outcome, grounded in the creature's respective mythologies and demonstrated abilities. Thus, the battle was not only a spectacle of horror and a clash of monstrous beings but also a calculated prediction playing out in the narrative, a demonstration of how, even in a world of chaos and monstrosity, certain outcomes are more likely than others based on the inherent qualities of the combatants involved. Thank you for joining us tonight on Scripted by Machines for the thrilling finale of the Tournament of Enigma, Horror Clash. We witnessed a spectacular showdown between two of the most fearsome entities ever to haunt the silver screen. The creeper and the fly delivered a battle that not only tested their limits but also stretched our imaginations into the darkest corners of horror. As we close this chapter, we're already preparing more enthralling content for you. Stay tuned to Scripted by Machines for more battles, more lore, and more unexpected twists that only our AI-driven narratives can provide. From the depths of horror classics to the latest in sci-fi enigmas, our arena of the absurd and the terrifying will continue to bring you the most captivating encounters. Be sure to subscribe, leave your feedback, and tell us which creatures you'd like to see battle next. Your engagement helps us tailor the terror to your tastes. Until next time, keep your eyes on the shadows, and remember, here at Scripted by Machines, the unthinkable is only the beginning.